All right, what is up, guys? As we all know, Justin Gaethje is the new undisputed lightweight champion as he took out Ilia Topuria recently at the White House card. And in the build-up to the fight, Ilia and Justin both came on an interview with the Pat McAfee show at the same time where they got in one of their debates, and I found out that Pat McAfee aggravates the hell out of me because he talks too much and interrupts the fighters and a bunch of bullshit. Really aggravates the hell out of me. He's kind of cringy, if I'm being honest with you. But 3 hours ago, he dropped another interview with Justin Gaethje just by himself, and I watched it, enjoyed it, but there are a couple things in there I want to talk about and some things I want to break down. First of all, Pat McAfee, I swear, he just cringy to me. Like, he's just cringy. Like, right here, in the build-up with Ilia Topuria on this episode with him, Pat McAfee was calling Ilia like the king or some shit. And then Justin called him like the king. And it was just kind of like cringy. Like, and we're all grown men. We don't need to call each other the king. But this is the first thing that Pat McAfee had to say when they started the podcast.
What's up?
I guess we'll call you Mr. King now, right? Because that was Ilia who was calling himself Mr. King last week. We'll call you Mr. King. How does it feel? That was legendary.
All right, look, it makes sense. Ilia was being called the king based off his claims. Justin took him out. Now he's calling Justin the king. I'm sorry, just something about that is fucking cringy to me. And why is this guy, like, standing up? Does he have, like, a bar top chair? Like, he is, like, 3 feet from the desktop. Like, what the fuck is he doing? How is he sitting here with his legs crossed? I don't know. Just fucking weird. Guy's weird to me. Good interview, though. Good interview. Just fucking guy's weird to me. I have a log here of timestamps of things I want to go over. I'm trying to be organized. If you go to 3:15, they talk about the second backflip, which is really funny to me. Maybe I'm wrong. In my mind, Justin Gaethje did not like purposely go for a second backflip. I think it was just in the moment he was out of breath. He got his original backflip, and the momentum just kept him going. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was, but I don't think he was going for a second backflip there.
Incredible.
Yeah,
like, it's just insane.
King of the world, even though you don't really view it that way. Now let's talk about the second backflip that you went for. Obviously landed the one off the top of the cage, got a great shot in front of the White House. Sit flip. Go.
Was a very, 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 look at where look at where I paused it. I wasn't even paying attention. Look at where it's fucking paused. Hold on.
You don't really view it that way. Now let's talk about the second backflip that you went for. Obviously landed the one off the top of the cage, got a great shot in front of the White House. Sit flip. Go again, and then obviously almost break your neck. I know wrestlers.
No, come on, boys.
Hold on a minute.
The one off the top of the
I
cage,
love
got
this.
A great shot in front of the White House. Sit flip. Go again, and then obviously.
I'm sorry I'm laughing so hard. I never paused it on that exact moment. That shit caught me off guard. I swear to y'all, I have nothing against Justin Gaethje. I just really loved Ilia Topuria and the way he fights, and I wanted to see him really just conquer greatness with this. It was nothing personal against Justin Gaethje. I love watching him fight, and I love him too. But he's he's just a fucking.
Now let's talk about
one more
the second
time.
backflip that you went for. Obviously landed the one off the top of the cage, got a great shot in front of the White House. Sit flip. Go again,
There he goes.
And then obviously almost break your neck. I know wrestlers.
No, come on, boys. That's Newton's first law. Just gotta stay in motion. I'm the best. I'm the best faller on the mountain. When I go snowboarding, you see me do all kinds of tucks and rolls, and I'm back on my feet. Like, I was just rolling out of it.
I'm sorry. For some reason, that's way funnier to me now than it was at any other point. I didn't even laugh at that live, to be honest. I guess I was just busy being heartbroken that Ilia quit on the stool. But fucking Gaethje is a badass. I'm not going to lie. But that shit right there just caught me off guard just then. It really made me laugh. All right. Whatever. 4 minutes and 9 seconds in the interview, they were talking about Gaethje having hammer hands, which I'm going to let Pat McAfee say it the way he said it, and then I'm going to tell you what I think. I have a very specific take on this itself.
Non-combat sport diehard fan, but certainly person that watches fights. I do believe that we as a society will start thinking of you as a man who has the heaviest hands of all time. Like, have you always just had hammers? Like, how do you kind of explain the amount of power that goes through your fist? Like, is it your technique? Is it?
Okay. So he's asking him, has he always had hammer hands? And I'm going to combine this with a point I wanted to talk about a little bit later in the video. Like KO power versus damage accumulated over time KO. So basically, my breakdown of what I'm talking about is, in this fight, he never knocked Ilia down off of just power by itself. It's accumulated damage over time that is just wearing the opponent out. Justin does not have a bunch. He has one or two almost dead KOs with his hands. I think maybe just one, maybe just Barbosa. But what I'm trying to get at here is, if you look at Justin Gaethje's fight with Max Holloway didn't have the power to just hit Justin and KO him, just hit him clean and KO him. I don't think he had that type of power. But the reason he was able to hit him with one punch and knock him out cold was because over the 24 and a half minutes of that fight, Justin just kept accumulating damage, kept getting damage, kept getting damage. And, it's like a video game where the more you get hit, it's just taking your energy level just down further and further and further. And then come the end of the fight, when Gaethje's energy level was just so low and he got hit clean, it put him out. But at any other point in the fight, when Max hit him clean, it wasn't necessarily the same effect as straight KO power, where Ilia has, or or Francis, or people that get one-shot clean KOs, the way Topuria put out Volkanovski in the second round with one punch, put him out cold. The way he put out Holloway is kind of a mid-example because they went 3 rounds and he already kind of took a little bit of damage, so it kind of loosened him up a little bit, in that way. But the Oliveira one is different because that's just clean KO power. Oliveira had not taken much damage, so his energy was still really high, but he just got hit with that power and went out cold. So in my mind, that's the difference between clean KO power from one punch that Ilia has, and then accumulated damage over time power that Gaethje has, which is what I believe he put into effect in the Ilia fight, because he never truly dropped Ilia. He hit Ilia one time in the 3rd round where Ilia kind of sunk to his knees a little bit. He never actually went down. He didn't go down until Justin grappled him in a north-south while they were both facing down, and then they went down. But he didn't drop him clean off the punch. But the more he hit Topuria through the rounds, the more and more he hit him, the more damage those punches would do, because Ilia's tank, is getting brought lower and lower and lower. So that to me is the KO power versus damage accumulated over time power, which is what Justin has. So I don't think that Justin truly has hammer hands. I would say Ilia has hammer hands because he can hit you and put you out cold. And okay, I get the go ahead. I'll go ahead and go to the other point. I think it's right here. Let it play for a second.
What do you think it is? Because you pound Gaethje, you pound people's faces. I mean, you absolutely.
Yeah, one word describes it all, and it's timing. And the more you watch the sport, the more creating angles, but sending direct. When you see my face and it's not messed up, you're like, oh,
Okay, so here's where he talks about what I'm going to go into next, where Ilia was hitting Justin quite a bit, but you see how Justin, his face was like barely damaged at all at the end of the fight. So hear him out.
with the skin, it's really not that. It's if you watch frame by frame when he's like, I am constantly dissipating the energy that he's trying to send in straight lines, and they're all coming off and glancing off of my body, and that is the time.
All right, so that's where I think that Ilia's power did not come into play here because, you know, if you look at the Volk fight, I don't think Volk was like super concerned about Ilia's power. And on top of that, Volk was coming off the KO loss to Islam, so he was already probably concussed during that fight. If you look at the Max fight, Max was arguably doing very, very good, better than anyone else has except Gaethje. Up until this point, Max did the best of anyone as far as counterpunching and movement on Ilia. And then if you go into the Charles fight, Charles just was rushing like right into him, no care for his power, and when Ilia hit him, it was just like clean. He was there for it. Like he was right there ready for the punch. There was no evading, twisting, trying to roll with the punches, nothing. Oliveira just tried to come like right into the fire. And Max was doing a good job going in and out, fighting kind of Max's fight, and until he eventually got caught. But I like that Gaethje said that because Gaethje come into this fight prepared for the worst case scenario, which was to get slept out cold in the first round. So he came into this fight knowing Ilia was a super heavy puncher and was going to be looking for that punch the whole time. So Gaethje just tried to stay like crazy chaotic, I would call it, to where he did keep him in the clinch and landed those uppercuts. The first uppercut in the clinch is what damaged Ilia's right eye first. Whichever eye was damaged first in the very first round, that was in like a clinch uppercut. It was like a small uppercut inside the clinch. But Gaethje knew that power was coming, and anytime Ilia was close or he knew that punch was coming, if a punch is coming, he would roll with it. So instead of coming into it and you colliding forces, he is going away from the punch. So it takes a lot of steam off that punch. Instead of that punch landing dead, the punch is going with something that's also moving away from it. So that's what he's talking about, and in my mind, that was a genius gameplay, and he really couldn't have played it no better. That is completely hats off to Justin Gaethje. And the more time that passes after this fight, at first I was like completely heartbroken that Ilia had lost, and I was heartbroken the way he lost everything. I still love Ilia. The way Ilia responded that I made a video about makes me really happy. And honestly, I'm just really happy for Gaethje too. I'm truly happy for Gaethje. He's kind of humbly beat him. You know, he said a few things like he's in the hospital, I'm not, blah, 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 but just a few little things. You know, he hasn't said anything crazy, and he's humbly the champion right now, and I really like that. And, man, I am really happy for Gaethje. I think that was
that I have my bill. I've said it. If you go back to my early interviews, my A to B is unmatched. And when
okay, he's just talking about his straight line punching. But yeah, he was rolling with the punches, man. Let's see. We covered that. We covered the backflip, hammer hands, rolling with the punches, KO versus the cumulative damage. All right, let's just go ahead and take it to 737, where he talks about if he's going to fight again this year. Which, you know, this video dropped 3 hours ago, so I'm assuming it was either today or yesterday at the latest. You know, you try to get these videos out as quick as you can, so I'm going to assume that this was recorded in the last 24 hours, which is, from what I've seen, the most recent update on if he is retiring or not. I have not seen anything that said he was or was not, but this is kind of on that topic right here, so.
For medical, basically, you're not allowed to fight for 6 months, I think, professionally. Is that accurate?
I already fought twice this year, and very rarely do you get me twice in 1 year. So there's very, very, very small chance that I would ever consider fighting this year again.
Okay, on that.
Okay. I just realized what he said again. I caught another word. We'll go back that real quick.
Very, very, very small chance that I would ever consider fighting.
He said very, very small chance that he would ever consider fighting again this year. So first time I heard it, I took it as a very low chance that I'll fight again this year. When you say it like that, what I hear is you're not retiring and you are going to be fighting again, just not this year. But the way he said it is he hasn't even considered if he'll fight again this year. Watch it one more time.
So there's very, very, very small chance that I would ever consider fighting this year again.
All right, so ever consider. So that right there is not for certain that I'm not going to retire. That sounds like retirement is still possibly on the table, which I don't mind that from Gaethje, man. He's on top of the mountain. He's late 30s. I believe he's 37 or 38. I wouldn't mind him sailing off into the sunset, man. He conquered this shit. He David Goliath, and he took out Goliath at the White House. So I would not mind seeing him ride off into the sunset. Now, the last thing I want to talk about before I end this video is back with the KOs and rolling with punches. So in this fight with Ilia, Justin rolled with all the punches. Like when the punch was coming at him, he rolled with the punch. Instead of coming dead at it and meeting two forces in the middle, he was rolling with it. Y'all know what that is. And most, Ilia, when he fought Charles, had a jab game. Like, he developed his jab very fast. In this fight, Gaethje developed his jab first punch of the match, of the first round, first punch thrown by Gaethje. He had his jab locked in. Like, he had the jab already figured out. It was right there down the pipe first time. And he tore Ilia's ass up with that jab. I love that jab. But all of Ilia's punches are normally like looping. They're going around. They're not really that straight. They normally have a curvature to how they get delivered. They're like mini haymakers. If you look at when Charles put Justin down, it was a straight shot right down the pipe. So in order to roll with a straight shot, you have to be moving backwards, like already moving backwards away from it. He was standing still, and that shot came straight into the chin. So that is a still force, meaning a movement force. That's more impact in the middle instead of it's moving backwards and you catch it while it's moving. You see what I'm saying? So that right there was like a dead impact jab that dropped Gaethje. Now, I can't play these. I don't want to get copyright from YouTube. If you go to UFC 300 where Max Holloway fought Justin Gaethje, now he did take 24 and a half minutes worth of damage at this point. So his health was already brought down so low. Back to that little video game scale. His health was already brought down so low. But if you look, Justin is moving this way. He's moving to his left, where Max is moving to the right. So he's moving into the punch. So that actually increases the contact of that punch. So that is why that Max, not being a big knockout puncher, he's not a knockout puncher, he's a volume puncher. That is why Max was able to put him down in their fight, was because it was two objects moving at a fast rate together. So it added to Max's power that the two objects are moving toward each other. And he did the exact opposite when he fought Ilia at the White House recently. He just was able to roll with all the punches, and they just didn't impact him like that. If he were to be moving in when Ilia was coming over with a right hand and they met in the middle, I believe Gaethje would have went down. I don't know if he'd have went out cold, but I'm for sure think he would have went down. So, yeah, good interview. Those are the points I wanted to cover. That's kind of how I feel about it. A little breakdown from me. Really enjoying this new little setup I got going on here. It's a lot easier to record. I guess the video is over for you if you don't want to hear me talk shit. But yeah, the new setup is great, and I can go back and forth between this stuff really easy. And I love Justin Gaethje, man. I guess, I would like to see him fight again if I knew he would win. I know that sounds weird, but seeing Gaethje finally be undisputed and like seeing the joy on his face and his humility, I would only want to watch him fight again if I knew he was going to win. I really don't want to see him lose and him retire on a loss. I want him to retire on top. I think he deserves it. He's a warrior. And he brought it back to America for sure, no matter how much he broke my heart. But I think that wraps it up for this video, guys. Gaethje's a badass. He did it. America. Roll with the punches, Gaethje. Undisputed. Finally. Retire. Go out. Sail into the sunset. See y'all later.